In many condos in Portland, you're looking at another building's windows. This one, you're looking at the Willamette River. I've been selling real estate in Portland for over 11 years. I've walked through thousands of properties, and I can tell you what you're about to see is generally hard to find in this city. Not just the views, the whole lifestyle package. Whether you're a buyer or someone who loves Portland real estate content, stay with me because today I'm not going to tour the kitchen and point in the countertops. I've already created a home walkthrough video and I will link to it below. I want to talk about who this home is actually for today and why this person is going to have a really hard time finding anything quite like it. Before I get into it, if you're thinking about making a move to Portland, whether you're upsizing, downsizing, or relocating from out of state, my name is Andy Harris. I'm with Forest Real Estate, brokered by eXp Realty, and this is what I do every day. Feel free to reach out to book a chat, links in the description, or shoot me an email at andy@forestre.com. Zero pressure, just a conversation. Okay, let's get into it. Let me paint a picture for you. You wake up in the morning, you walk out to your private deck. I mean, truly private. This is the end unit with no neighbors on one side, and you're looking at the Willamette River, the forested west bank, green space to the south, no traffic below, just water and trees. I want you to understand why this is unusual. Riverfront living in Portland basically doesn't exist at this price. You want a house on the river, you're looking at a very different number. And even then, most of what you find isn't in a walkable neighborhood with new seasons around the corner and the Springwater Corridor out your front door. This property is sitting at the southern end of Sellwood Harbor, which if you know Sellwood, you know it's one of those neighborhoods that feels like a small town inside a city. It's established, it's gorgeous, it has some of the best schools in Portland. And this home is right on the edge of it, right on the water. That combination of riverfront, walkable, neighborhood, and unit privacy is genuinely rare. Okay, now I want to talk about the HOA dues because I know that's a number people see and immediately feel some kind of way about. $2,225 a month. I'm not going to pretend that's a small number. It's not. But here's how I want you to think about it. At 85 cents per square foot, side note, you should know that almost all HOAs divvy up HOA dues based on the size of a unit. So that 85 cents falls within a very normal range of HOA dues per square foot here in Portland. And given this HOA has so much more in terms of amenities, it starts to become clear why $2,025 a month is not a bad deal. This community has an outdoor pool, 2 tennis courts, which you can obviously see here, which can be used for pickleball and basketball and ping pong, and bike and kayak and sup storage. It also has a gym, a party room with the full kitchen, gated access, and some of the most beautiful landscaping you'll see in a condo property in Portland. Now, if you're coming from, say, the Pearl District or the South Waterfront or from a condo building in Seattle or San Francisco or Southern California, this math might look different than someone who's been living in a single family home their whole life. And here's the other piece of this that matters. The HOA cost is already reflected in the list price. The market has done the math. Buyers who understand this type of product recognize that. And that's part of why I think the right buyer for this home hasn't seen it yet. So let me be specific, because this home isn't for everyone is something agents say about pretty much every home. Let me tell you who I think this home is actually very good for. First, the downsizer who is done with maintenance. If you've lived for 20 or 30 years in a large Portland home, you know what I'm talking about. The roof, the gutters, the yard, the constant list. This is a lock and leave property. The HOA handles the exterior, the landscaping, the pool, maintenance, all of it. You walk out the door, you're done. That's a lifestyle upgrade for a lot of people, not a compromise. And the square footage here, over 2,600 square feet across 2 levels, this is pretty much a real home. This isn't a pied-à-terre. You have 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a full primary suite on the main level, and a separate family room upstairs and nearly 800 square feet of outdoor deck space. You're not giving up pretty much anything in terms of size. Second, the buyer relocating from a more expensive market. If you're coming from the Bay Area, LA, or anywhere on the East Coast where amenity-rich condo living is more normal, this property probably makes immediate sense to you. You understand the trade-off. You know that with a building, with a pool and courts and a gym, it's not necessarily a luxury add-on. It's just part of how urban condo living works. Add on the location in one of the premier inner east side locations with this sort of view, and you'll understand what a great catch this place is. Third, the active lifestyle buyer. This one doesn't get talked about enough with this property. Sellwood is one of the most walkable neighborhoods in Portland. You've got New Seasons and coffee shops and restaurants all within just a few blocks from here. But the outdoor piece is what really stands out. You got the Springwater Corridor Trail, literally about 20 feet from me. It's right at your doorstep. That's got about 40 miles of paved trail running east along the river, and if you want to bike or run. The community itself has a pool, as I've showed you, has a pool and tennis and basketball and pickleball courts and a gym on site. And then there's the kayak and sup storage that comes with the unit, with river access literally 1 block away. For someone who organizes their life around staying active, this isn't just a nice perk, this is the whole point. You don't have to drive to any of it. It's just your everyday life. Okay, fourth, who I think this is great for, is the second home buyer. If you're looking for a Pacific Northwest base, somewhere to land in while you're in Portland, or a place that works as a true retreat without the burden of a house to manage, this checks every box. The lock and leave lifestyle is real here. Like I said before, the HOA covers the exterior and the grounds, and the community is gated and well maintained, and you're not coming back to a neglected yard or a long to-do list. You're coming back to a river view and a deck, and because Sellwood is an actual neighborhood, not a condo tower in the middle of a business district, it feels like a place to live, not just a place to stay. Okay, finally, the fifth buyer type who I think would love this community is the professional who wants to live well without a brutal commute. Here's another thing that this location doesn't get enough attention about, and that's the fact that this building and this community sits right at the Sellwood Bridge, which puts you in a genuinely unique spot geographically. You're almost exactly in the middle of the city on an east-west axis. So if you cross the bridge, you can be at OHSU in about 10 minutes. You can be at Intel or Nike in roughly, say, 20 to 30. The central inner east side, downtown, the Pearl, Lake Oswego are all accessible without a highway. At the end of the day, you're coming home to a home on the river, 2 private decks, 3 fireplaces, resort amenities. That trade, a serious career access plus a lifestyle most people think requires a weekend drive, is not easy to find at Portland, especially at this price point. This home is one of the few places where it actually works. Here's my honest take as someone who's been in real estate for about 17 years. This home has been on the market, and the reason isn't that it's a bad property, it's that it's a very specific property for a specific person. The HOA cost screens out a lot of buyers before they even walk through the door. And that's too bad because the buyers who would generally love this never really get to experience it. So if you're ready to enjoy a prime location in Portland and watch the river go by, this is worth a serious look. Ultimately, I'm not here to oversell it, I'm just here to make sure that the right person finds it. If you want to see more of the actual property, the layout, the views, the deck space, I've got a full walkthrough video linked in the description. That'll give you a much better feel for the space than any photos will. And if you have questions about this home, specifically about Sellwood Harbor, about how the HOA compares to other Portland condo buildings, about the Portland market in general, I'm genuinely easy to reach. Andy Harris, Forest Real Estate, brokered by EXP. Emails in the description. Website is forestre.com. And if you found this useful, subscribe. I put out Portland real estate content every week, and I try to make it actually worth your time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.